Good morning. I'm Nina from ninasoap.com. Excuse me. This morning, I'd like to talk to you about emergency fund. Do you need to save for emergency fund? Do you need to have 3 to 6 months of your income in your saving account for emergency fund, especially if you have not paid off all your debts yet? My answer to that question is no. You don't need to do that. I think the reason why many financial advisors will advise to have 3 to 6 months of your income in your saving account for emergency fund is to be on the safe side. And sometimes when you don't take risk, you don't get any reward. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. If you have critical debts, car loan, student loan, you have a mortgage, I will not suggest you focus your energy, your attention, your resources into saving 3 to 6 months of your income for emergency fund. If that's what you want to do, that's totally okay. You just have to do what you feel comfortable with. In our situations, we don't have 3 to 6 months of our income saved as emergency fund. We don't even have emergency fund. I'm going to talk to you about how we do it. What I will suggest first is you save for irregular expenses. That's what we do. Why do I call irregular expenses? First, you list down those expenses that you don't pay for every single month, but you do pay for during the year. It could be your car insurance, your home insurance, like homeowners insurance, to protect your assets in your house. It will include gifts for Christmas, birthdays. It will include entertainment. That will include registration fee for school for the kids. It will include co-pays for to go to doctor checkup, for example, medications. You need to estimate all those expenses and see how much in average they cost you a year. So you find out the total and you divide it by 12. That would be your irregular expenses, and you should have that on your budget. Every month you put that amount in the saving account for those expenses. In our case, we total all our irregular expenses to be $4,100 a year. Divided by 12, it is a little bit below $350 a month. So every single month, we put $350 in our saving account for those expenses. So when you do that, you don't need to worry about emergency fund. And by the way, those irregular expenses should include 1% of your home value, the value of your home, as a maintenance fee or maintenance cost for your house. In our case, we estimate our maintenance to be about $1,000 a year. So it is in that total as well. And as you go along throughout the year, you need to record those expenses that incur. And at the end of the year, you can analyze your budget, what you thought you will be spending in each one of those categories compared to what you actually spent, to see if you need to make adjustment. You don't have to, to be right in every single one of them, but you just want to make sure that how much you are spending toward irregular expenses is well below what you budgeted for. Once you have that figured out, your next step will be to build 3 to 6 months of your food supply. When you purchase food on sale, you won't pay full price for it. And if you have 3 to 6 months of your food in your pantry, well, that saves you 3 to 6 months of money to come up with out of your income for emergency fund. First, you need to find out how much your expenses, your living expenses are during the month. So you need to know how much it costs you, how much you need every single month to pay for your living expenses. And as living expenses, I include, if you have mortgage, I'm not including it in it just yet. So you have your bills, your car gas, your allowances if you take those, and donation if you make donations. You list, and cell phone, cable, internet, you list all those expenses and estimate how much it costs you in average for those expenses. That will be your living expenses a month. Next, figure out how much it costs you to pay toward your debts, the minimum cost, the minimum payment every single month for your debts, credit card loan, credit card debt, student loan, car loan, and mortgage. You can even put mortgage in another category, but list all those minimum, include the mortgage as well. And then ask yourself, if you pay off all those debts, you pay off your house, you pay off your credit card, you want to start with credit card, you pay off your credit card, your car loan, your student loan, and your mortgage, how much do you need every single month? I'm not saying how much you want to live on, how much do you need to live on every single month? That will be the first one that you figure out. And you will remark that it's not a lot of money. In our case, without debt, we only need $1,064 a month for our living expenses. That does not include our mortgage. So, and you are going to set a goal to pay off your debt. And while you are paying off your debt, try to build 3 to 6 months of food supply. In case of a temporary loss of job, you have food at home. So, and what you do next is to have a backup plan, in case there is a temporary loss of job. What will you do? Will you go look for a job? You need to have a backup plan. Or what are those expenses within your living expenses that you should cut? Let's say that you have 3 income. My husband and I, we did this exercise. In case there is a temporary loss of one of our income, we list those expenses that we should cut. One of them is one of our cell phone. We have 2 cell phones. We'll cut one of them so that the one going to work might have his or her cell phone. You can list a cable to cut cable and keep internet, for example. So you need to see how low you can trim your living expenses in case you have to see how much you need to cover those basic expenses and have a backup plan for that. Once you figure out those different steps, you don't need to save 3 to 6 months of your income, which is not easy to do anyway. Focus your energy toward paying all your debts, and once you pay off all those debts, you don't really need a lot to live on. You'll have free room in your income to save, to invest, and to create multiple sources of income. Thank you for watching. I'm Nina from ninassoap.com, and I invite you to comment on our video to help us grow, and tell us what you want to watch more, so that we know what we can, we can talk more in our videos. And we invite you to subscribe and share our YouTube channel as well. Thank you.